But there's a couple things I definitely want you to pay attention to. This is March, of course, minus 11.2% in all homes for sale. So, inventory is becoming one of those situations. Closed sales actually went up. Look at that sign. It's been negative for a while. So up 5.2%. Something to pay attention to. And look at this attached. Up 9.7%. So the market is starting to heat up. People need to pay attention to that. I'm going to skip a couple slides. New listings are down a little bit. So now I'm starting to understand that this is becoming a supply issue. Prices, in my opinion, when you have a supply issue, well, they're going to probably go up, right? And you just heard it from some of our people that were listing property in the last couple of weeks. Things that weren't selling last year are selling now and for more money. What do you know? All right. So closed sales up 5.2%. Median sales price is pretty hanging in there at 1.1. Average sales price is 1.438. Good. And percentage of list price. What do you know? We're going in the plus range. We had some negatives for a while, right? So I think exactly what I said holds water. Prices are starting to maintain a little bit more. Again, this is for San Diego. Days on market. Look at that. 37, 45 for attached. Market's heating up. You need to start sharing this information with your clients and let them understand what's going on. Months of supply down to two months. Great. Total market overview. This is a good bird's eye view to see what's going on. And if I saw anything else that stuck out, believe me, I would have highlighted it and pointed out. But it's pretty similar than what it was last month. Just in my opinion, it just shows a little bit like the market is actually heating up a little bit. And we've been getting some waves of that. OC is kind of similar. We have median sales price down 0.2%. Closed sales is 783, down 7.1. And closed sales for attached is down 3.4%. Look at the pending sales though. I mean, it probably was, again, this is February. Can't get the updated information until probably another few days, who knows. But with that being said, down 21% in the month of February. So you can see the chart. The chart shows the story. It just tells it. We had a lot of listings, and now the listings are kind of going away. So be a listing agent. I'm sure you'll be a lot happier if you did some of that stuff. All right, pending sales down 38.9%. And look at the attached, down 43%. Closed sales minus 7.1%. And days on market is actually going up a little bit. There you go, for February from last year. It's up 8.3% of last year. So things are taking a little longer to sell. February, it was 1.4 for the median sales price. Average sales price, 1.979. That's really good. Percentage of lists received is 98.5%. So it's down 0.6%, which is not a lot, which is amazing. It's still selling for what it's listing for, which is a really good thing. So just pay attention to these numbers. Again, they come out in the monthly indicators every single month. And if you have these to share with your clients, I suggest you do so. Once the supply is 2.4, so we have a little bit more supply than we do in San Diego, not too much different. And all properties, here we go. Days on market 41, up 13.9%. Closed sales is pretty similar. Year to date, it's very similar than last year as well. All right, the moment you guys have been waiting for. Everyone pay attention if you don't mind. I think if you take this business serious, you should probably pay attention to this. Everybody got this message. RE/MAX, Zillow. What are they doing together, right? Because RE/MAX and Zillow is like oil and water, right? We're supposed to be a little different, right? But I need to explain to you what took place before all of this take place. All right? Fair? Is that good? Is that a good way to start this kind of topic? Now, there's a lot that took place in something that they call transparency, right? Listings available for clients to see when they go to Zillow or when they go to anything else. How it took place in the past is if you put something on the MLS, it goes directly on the market. No questions asked. It is what it is. And before that, it wasn't like that. You had a choice to syndicate or not. If anybody remembers that, I think it was a little over a decade where you had a choice. Do you want to put it on the public websites or not? And that went sour. Realtor.com was taken off like, oh my God, it was incredible. It was doing so great because they were basically giving advertisements saying, hey, you wanted to see all the listings? Go to our website. See, because it was owned by NAR, and there's some things with that. Bottom line is, where is the consumer going to get the information? We can hold on to things from 20 years ago and 30 years ago, say, well, we had all the information with the book, and the book, we used to give it to our clients that we liked the most, the old ones. I mean, we can go back that far. It's up to you. I mean, I've got 29 years. We can talk about things 29 years ago, but I'd like to talk about what's going on today. It's all about, where is the consumer going to get the information to? They don't care about what we have to say. They really don't care if we like Zillow, don't like Zillow, Realtor.com, who we choose and what platform. Customer doesn't care. They want to get to their product, and they want an easier process to guide them to get to their product. And that's what I believe an agent is there for. Technology companies want to eliminate people like you. That's the truth. You're in the way. Why? Because you're taking the lion's share of the commission. I truly believe with all my heart, the agents that are professional, the ones that are going to continue to get better and educate their clients on their professionalism, communication needs to be flawless. You need to pay attention to who you are today instead of anyone else. Zillow, Realtor, other companies that are trying to eliminate you. The bottom line is, if you get better, then nobody has a chance. That's the truth. And that's why I'm seeing the numbers fluctuate between 5 are doing 95% of the business now. I couldn't wait to say those numbers, because at the end of the day, I knew they were 1090. I knew. But then I took a look at my own, and I kind of look around us. The bottom line is this: we need to start paying attention to what's going on in our industry, put our feelings aside. Okay. I was hoping, and I'm not even sure if Brian Reifus is on the call, but there's a surprise with this, because I had the intention of telling you guys, bottom line is this: Zillow and RE/MAX made a partnership. Why did that happen? Because corporations, and I won't mention who, you probably know who caused the fight with this. They were trying to make a private exclusive, basically saying, we are not allowing our listings to go public. We're going to keep them in-house. The bottom line is, everyone that knows anything about brokerage, we knew exactly what they were trying to do. They were trying to double up on their transactions. They have to. You're not understanding. This is a battle of transactions, has nothing to do with anything else. We all need more transactions. Give you an example. I had 2 brokerages, well, basically two locations, Rancho Bernardo and Carlsbad. We were doing 105 to 110 transactions a month before I bought United, before I bought 3 more branches. So what happened? Well, I'll tell you what happened. Last 5 years, 4 years, it's been year over year, 30% down of transactions. So there's little for us to eat from. That's just the bottom line. Okay. We went from 5,000 transactions in San Diego down to 1,400. Go ahead and run a business on those numbers. Almost impossible. You have to expand and grow or die. That's just that. It is what it is. The people that have been in the business for the last 10, 15 years and look around them, I guarantee the buy one, get one free brokerages, they're out. Then you got the other ones that say, hey, you get this person, you get that person, and then those are gone. Like, nobody's making money on those things. Okay. The average person is making $2,300 from recruiting agents. Just know the numbers. The shiny objects are shiny objects. They're made to kind of deter you from what's going on. Why did I have that long-winded conversation about that? Because now we may have to make a decision. Because when they started that war, they basically said, all right, I am not going to put our listings on the MLS. Well, then Zillow fired back at that company and said, okay, in order for you to put that listing now on the MLS or on our site as a manual listing, because if anybody knows Zillow, they know that you can actually input it as a manual listing before. They went back to the consumer or the actual person, said, okay, since you didn't do it the right way, because they didn't do it the right way, they basically said, in order for your client to put their home on the market, you have to list it with another brokerage. That was the biggest slap in the face that Zillow ever did to another company, okay? And you guys know the company. I hope you guys know the company I'm referring to. I just don't like to, call them out. But that was the most catastrophic move that company has ever made in their entire life. They made a lot of mistakes in the past. Concierge was a joke. They actually got sued like crazy. They were in 7 class, basically lawsuits for unethical practices. I look at the founder. It's all about the founder. If the founder has good intentions and morals, then you have no problem. ours like transparency, integrity, and all those things that matter to this company, that matter to you, I will never, ever compromise. I don't care who the agent is, what's going on in their industry, I won't compromise it. Most other companies don't have the same philosophy. So they're willing to run over whomever they can in order to get to the top. So when you say you're a technology company, when we're a relationship business, we just are, whether you want to admit it or not, you can have the best, coolest CRM in the world. But the bottom line, if the customer doesn't trust you, they don't like you, they probably won't do business with you, period. So that to me tells me we're a relationship business. Now, I believe Remax was forced to make a decision because when you go platform, coming soon, preview, whatever you want to call that, and the client has access to a listing that is not on the MLS, to me, that is the most valuable thing you can do for the buyer. Why? Because you're offering them something that does not exist to the rest of the people. That's just what it is, what it is. Everybody wants what everybody else doesn't have access to. That's the truth. Well, when Zillow kicked them out and said, hey, by the way, if you're going to do that, that was a war. Like Zillow literally said, we don't like you because if you go ahead and do it this way, we're going to tell your consumer you have to list with another brokerage. How is a technology company even doing that? To me, I'm like, whoa, that was a move. Well, that company, starts with a C, fired back. They actually sued Zillow and they were going through this war, all right, of who's actually going to be able to put it on there. And then they chose Redfin. Catastrophic mistake. Any realtor that has 2 years in the business or more, I'll leave it at that, IQ of over 100, understands that was the biggest mistake you can ever make in life because most consumers, they look at Redfin as a discount brokerage. It's like saying, I'm going over to Neiman Marcus and I'm expecting Walmart prices. That just doesn't make sense. You have to understand the circumstances. When they choose that battle and now they have that advantage to give to the consumer, like, hey, by the way, we have listings that you can't get on Zillow, right? Zillow said, all right, we're going to the most trusted and we're going to say, all right, let's make a deal. Because when Redfin wanted to make a decision like that back in the day with Adam Contos 8 years ago, we actually severed that relationship within 2 weeks. Why? Because they came to Remax, the most trusted. Everybody goes to Remax first. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to this. Most of these companies have gone to Remax first because we actually sell homes. I mean, we don't just pretend. Our numbers speak for ourselves. And it's now important for you to know who you are more now than ever before. So they came to Remax and they said, hey, put us on your website or whatever the case may be. We'll give you the overflow. I'm referring to Redfin, by the way, 8 years ago. And we're like, all right, we'll take the overflow. We'll give you a 25% referral fee. We didn't care where it came from. We're just going to give a 25% referral fee. 2 weeks later, Redfin you remember this, Walt?
Yeah.
2 weeks later, Redfin did an advertisement on national television saying you don't need an agent. Get this. We just partnered up with a company that just went on national television saying, call us directly. You don't need an agent. Well, our CEO did not like that. They severed the relationship right then and there. Literally lasted 2 weeks. 2 weeks or 2 months. I don't remember. It was all blur. Fast forward to today. Zillow came to Remax and said, look, I want to say the word so bad, but this company did. This is how we literally cut their head off, man. I'm being honest. This is the way we crush them. Because the enemy of my enemy becomes my friend. That's just the world that we live in. Now, we had to make a choice. Which platform are we going to put on this previews? And I'll go over all the slides, and you have a seminar, webinar, all that stuff. We'll share the information. I think there's one going on today and tomorrow, correct, Walt?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, I got some of that information, which I'll share with you. But anyway, so Remax and Zillow said, all right, we're going to do this. We're going to allow you guys to put your coming soons on our website, and we'll go from there. So let's go through this really quick. What does this mean? All right, build demand before listings go live, elevate the listing, conversations with the seller, use preview showing case as a clear competitive advantage, all the things that I was talking about before. Zillow Preview anybody that knows anything about Zillow Preview, that basically coming soon or however you want to call it, right? Zillow Showcase is completely different. Zillow Showcase, and I'm hoping we have some agents that actually use Zillow Showcase can actually speak about their experience. And believe me, I was shocked too. I was like, you use Zillow? Ill, like Z word? What the heck you doing? But then they said exactly what I told you. See, they had to convince me. My top producers had to convince me at the time saying, you know, Mike, we all don't like them, but it is what it is. The consumer is going to Zillow, and I need to be there because every single time my client says, hey, by the way, when are we going to be on Zillow? See, they want to search their property. They want to make sure they can send it to their friends, blah, blah, blah. They want it everywhere. That's the truth. So, you know, I told you that earlier, what they stood for, you know, real estate and blah, blah, blah. I believe they were trying to take us out of business, but that's a whole different conversation. They learned their lesson real quick on that, by the way. Don't hide the coming soon options. Okay. So look at this. This is the number I want you to really pay attention to. 235 million unique users. Okay. 235 million. Now, Remax has 120 million. Okay. Together now, no one comes close. You have the number one global website and you have the number one USA site. So I just think it's something that we couldn't pass up and we had to do it. Again, we're going to be able to opt in, opt out, blah, blah, blah. We'll talk about your options as an agent. What are your options, right? If you want to do this or not, because there's no commitment here, zero commitment. The listings appear on the Zillow before they go live, right? Buyers can view homes and express early interest. Again, this is Zillow Preview. These are the advantage of having a listing and it's not going on the market for another week or two. Here are your options. They're giving you Zillow Preview. Buyers can contact the listing agent or schedule tours with Zillow partners. I got to explain that to you, okay? The consumer is going to have two choices. One, contact the listing agent. That button, boom, very simple. Here you go. Because they understand. Consumer wants to get to the listing agent. They were trying to hide it from the past and, you know, mask it with all these Zillow, you know, Premier or Zillow Flex agents or whatever the case may be. Zillow Flex is gone. So all those teams that were counting on Zillow Flex, gone as of, I believe, 2-3 weeks ago. And I think the phase out is happening because when I was on the call with the heads of Zillow and the heads of Remax a month ago, by the way, a month ago, all right, when they knew this was taking place, or I don't know if it was a month, maybe 3-4 weeks ago, when I was on my leadership advisory, they had a special thing for us. They told us Zillow Flex is gone. They just eliminated it completely. And I believe there's a reasons why. Okay. But this is the bottom line. Buyers can contact the listing agent or they can click schedule a tour. And that's where it goes to basically their flex option, which they came to Remax for. They came to Keller Williams. I think a couple other people signed up with them, right? Some major brands. Because we had to choose. Is it Redfin or is it Zillow? That's just the bottom line. And I believe Redfin, okay, they're not even the top second. It's realtor.com, homes.com. Actually, homes.com is number 2, right? Then realtor, then goes Redfin. So you just got to know your numbers and you got to know what you're looking at. All right. Not going to bore you with the details. Those are the ones that are going to be on there. Please pay attention to numbers. Don't listen to rumors. Don't listen to shiny objects. Just follow the numbers. This is what it's going to look like for the consumer. There's going to be a contact button, like I just told you, goes to the listing agent. And if they request a tour, if you see that says request a tour button, goes to the preferred agent partner. Now, this is very important for you to hear because it's going to be a lot of information. I already know people are going to get confused and probably going to have to repeat myself a few times because it took me a while to understand it, quite frankly. If they do request a tour button, it's your listing. Remember, your listing. You obviously want to get to the consumer if you can, or refer it to one of your agents in the office, whatever you want to do with it. You want to be able to kind of understand what the buyer is doing. Well, if they don't go that route and they just put request a tour button, ready for the biggest kicker? Zillow will now pay you 10% referral fee from the money collected. All right, let me say that again. You will get a referral fee for something you did not do anything or had any part of it. If they're collecting money from their partners, okay, they are going to take that and pay it back to you or to pay back to the brokerage because that's legalities. We got to get paid and we pay you for that, okay? We haven't talked about the structure, so a lot of things are new. Just stay paying attention, okay? So basically, what's in it for you agents? Greater visibility, free connections based on buyers' choices, and revenue participation with the things I just talked about. What's in it for the brokerage? Again, there's revenue participation along with agents, a differentiated way to win a listing. So now you can say, hey, you want to be with this company? You're getting Redfin. With us, you're getting Zillow. Oh my God, what? Like, think about that for just a second. You're with the number one brand globally. You're with the number one site, okay, that is going to be in the United States, which is Zillow. You got a best global site, best global. There's no reason why you lose to these companies. If you lose to any of these companies, we need to have a conversation and we need to go over your listing appointment, your listing details, and what you're actually communicating to the client. I know my speech before I even started. Again, I haven't competed in the last 4 or 5 years, and I truly believe it's an easy win. I never lost one to that company anyway. All right. What is Zillow Showcase? All right. Some people are talking about Zillow Showcase. What's Showcase? It's a captivating new display for your agent listing. So basically, they're going to get priority. When your clients go inside there or anybody searching, yours are going to be at the front. All right. A unique map icon, search tag, and prioritized placement. Just it basically stands out from the rest. That's all I want to say, right? And those that are using Zillow Showcase are getting some major, major, major traction. Now, I don't want to throw out numbers just to throw out numbers, but I did hear upwards of like $700 when you break it all down, depending on the package per listing. That's what, if you were to get it on your own, or if you contacted Zillow before this partnership, it costs upwards between 500 to $1,000. It depends on how many you would buy, right? If you buy like 10, then I'm sure it goes really low down to 500 or whatever it needs to be done. Well, now, this is the great thing that they did with Remax. This tells me all that I needed to hear. They're offering, sorry, let me go backwards. They're offering the Zillow Showcase for $150 per listing, no contract. I remember I called one of our top producers in the company. If she lets me tell you her name, I will. And I said, look, they're going to get you out of your contract. They're going to do it for this. They couldn't believe it. They're like, no way, no way. Yeah, this is what they're doing for you. They're doing it for $150, no contract. And what about my contract? Well, they're going to get you out of it. So I think saved thousands of dollars. Thousands. Okay. I'd say 10,000 when you're all done with all the listings. It depends on how many deals you do. So that's that. Every listing, every time. I don't even know what the slide is, to be honest with you. 2% of greater sales, more listings. Okay, well, great. We get more pages. Let's look at the 75%. 75% more page views, saves, shares, and on an average. All right. See, this is the 150 that I talked about. Great. By the way, Walt shared these with me. This is the best part. I did not even go on to this meeting. These are the numbers, and I want to make sure everything I'm saying, I'm not even looking at the slide. I'm looking at the slide for the first time right now, just so you know, because I want to make sure this is the information that they gave me that I knew. And so if they said $185, I'm like, uh-oh, Walt, we got a problem. They're lying to us about it immediately. So it's 150. They stayed with the 150. Thank God on that one. Use your current photographer. Okay, so this is a big one here. All right. To publish a showcase listing, agents must include Zillow 3D home interactive floor plan. Okay, they want to make sure there's a 3D, right? A lot of you don't do that. Well, Zillow can provide it for you, but number one, use your current, there's your options. You can use your current photographer. Zillow 3D home is free. Let me repeat that again. Zillow 3D home is free for photographers. Training and research is provided, available for 5 years plus. They just want to make sure they're qualified. Hire a Zillow Media. You got that option. And you can select showcase ready photographers, and you can capture Zillow 3D home tour yourself. All right. I don't know what this is. Add-ons, essentials. We'll figure that all out. And that is the presentation. Hoping that's it. All right. All right, here we go. Here's what you need to know. Gosh darn it. Look at the timing, Wednesday and Thursday. I would hope that you do the Wednesday or the Thursday one. We got a lot going on today, but if you do want to jump into it, I think there's time today. So pay attention to this. So I'm just going to keep this up on the screen for a little bit. Take a picture with your phone. Go on to Zillow, or excuse me, go on to remax.net, and then you'll get the information there. But this is if you want to know a little diver deeper in, right? You want to ask some specific questions. You want to get your own little research. This is your way to do it. There's no excuses anymore. I want you to be able to do your own research to find out and form your own opinion. This is a good way to do it. Find out what they have to say before we kind of jump the gun and say, first, no, Zillow. And look, you can do and say what you want to do, and I can do what I say and what I can want to do. And the bottom line is this: to me, I'm staying patient, gathering the information. I'm not making any impulsive decisions. There's certain things that there's some urgency to, right? That Remax wants to know what we're doing. As brokers, we can opt in, opt out. And I'm going to ask my agents if they want to opt in, opt out. I don't have all the information, so I did some preliminary stuff. But when I get the actual information, here's the contract, this is the referral fees. Basically, you're going to get deals. Zillow Flex went away. We want to know if you want referrals. And you're going to the referrals from Zillow, all right? And I don't know the percentages and what we got to pay. I know Zillow Flex was 50%. I'm hoping that it's much, much, much cheaper. And if I know anything about Remax, they're like, you're going to get quality. Make sure our agents, it makes sense for our agents. So I'm going to stop sharing because I literally talked for about a half hour. Um, I'm going to read some comments. In the meantime, Lindsay, if you don't mind,
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask your opinion, and then I'm gonna leave Walt at the end. Okay. What do you think? Just give me the good, the bad, and the ugly. And transparency is most important to me, right?
Right.
So tell me your true feelings. What do you got?
So, we were actually not able to access the webinar,
Oh,
but Walt went over it with me and I did
okay.
review his slides. And
What's
like
your
you
thoughts?
said, I know the opinion agents have of Zillow. And like you said, we just have to, I mean, we basically have to adapt to the client.
Adapt
So
or
if,
die. Adapt or
yeah.
die. This is the bottom
So
line. This is an adapt or die moment. Okay.
exactly. So we have to put those opinions aside and know what the public is drawn to and adapt our business to that. So I feel like this is a good opportunity because if Remax is going to endorse it, then we know that something good can come from it.
And you've been with Remax for how long?
20 years.
You didn't hear it from me. You heard it from Lindsay. Okay. So incredible, Lindsay. You keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Emily, you're next. How are you, Emily?
I'm great. How are you doing?
You ready to be on the hot seat?
Oh, I'm born ready.
Let's go. What's your honest opinion?
I mean, I think it sounds great. It sounds like a great opportunity for the agents. And like Lindsay said, I think it's obvious that Zillow is preferred by many home buyers. And so, despite everyone's past feelings about Zillow, it's time to adapt and at least give it a try. And I mean, no commitment is, there's no reason not to do it. So I think it sounds great.
I'm glad you said that. See, the key word there was commitment, right? The
Mhm.
Zillow Flex companies, they gave me options. They were calling it something completely different, 8 years ago. They wanted to fly me to Seattle and do all these kind of things. I had some certain questions for them, and they didn't pass the test, right? I'm like, all right, you're going to open up a brokerage? No, no, we won't be doing that. Okay, so here's the bottom line. They ruined themselves. They ruined their reputation. They're trying to rebuild it. I don't know if you figured that out with a lot of people, right? Zillow's trying to rebuild their conversations and rebuild their relationships with brokers. So thanks for pointing that out, Emily, that this is like more of a non-committal situation and we can figure out what they're going to do and figure out there. All right. Walt, thank you, Emily. Walt Klein, my brain. Okay. Listen.
All right.
Well, again, transparency. I'm going to say this over is the most important thing to me out of this whole conversation. How you feel really, really, really matters. How did you feel after you got off that webinar?
Oh, I was excited. I think it demonstrated. I've always felt that Remax is a very agent-friendly franchise. They really are designed to do as much as they possibly can for agents. And this is an illustration of a major problem some people have, and that is dealing with the C company's private exclusive
Yep.
pitch.
Yep.
And so with all of this talk and now with the expansion of the C company's reach with their acquisition of Anywhere, Zillow went out and created a product better than the Compass private listing product. I mean, look at the reach. If you preview, there's two products here. I think you can figure this out. They're uniquely different. Preview and Showcase. Showcase is a product's already existed and they've enhanced it. They've made it more economically affordable for agents. They've added some features to it. Preview is a new thing, and Preview is free. It's simply you inputting your listings into Zillow directly. It's not on any public MLS, so people who have been sold on this C company's exclusive approach, you can compete with that, but with a much bigger reach, 235 million views. C company can't touch that.
No, they
So,
shot themselves in the foot.
oh
They
yeah,
just
oh
basically
yeah.
said, this is what we can offer you, consumer. And we just literally tripled that, those quadruples, if you look at the numbers. And the funny thing is, sorry to cut you off, Walt, but you got me excited here. Okay, let's talk about this. Does more exposure hurt the property? Oh, that's what I think that's what we're all trying to say. Well, the more exposure your home has, the prices are going to actually go down and more less people in your door. No, it's the exact opposite. The more exposure you have for that property, the more. And the funny thing is, I saw a lot of memes about that, but that's funny. So, Walt, sorry, did you want to add anything else other
Well,
than
no,
that?
I think that summarizes it quite nicely. It's a an excellent product to offer the clients who are somehow sold on, that testing the market. Let's see what it looks like before we go public without accumulating marketing time days. All of those things, future uh, webinars that we'll do that Remax will do will help
Oh yeah.
you
Oh yeah.
present, preview, and showcase to your listing leads, your listing presentations. But it's an excellent opportunity to just be right there on the cutting edge of what some people are selling as the future of real estate. I'm not, I like Mike said, the more exposure, the better. I think ultimately you get it in the MLS and everybody sees it everywhere. But certainly you can compete with this private exclusive approach with Preview.
Thank you, Walt. Thank you for your opinion. I'm going to get to everybody, I promise, but I want to, not everybody. I'm going to get to the people that I want to bring on. Next, I'm going to bring on Jeff Hans, and then I'm going to hear from the top producers that actually are using Zillow. So, Jeff Hans,
Uh-oh.
I know, right? It's
No, it's
funny
actually, I
because
mean, and actually you explained it really well before. We've all had a little bit of a distrust for Zillow, and I was in there long, long time ago when people started choosing. But one of the big differences now is with technology, you have to make a choice. And Remax had to make a choice. And one of the big things that you described was who has the biggest reach, because that's who you want to be with. And when they outreach the nearest competitor by almost 4 to 1, it's kind of a no-brainer. And you have all of the big players making decisions. So all the big players are the ones that have all the big listings, and they have far more listings than anybody else. So the smaller brokerages now are really going to have a struggle. And so Remax had to make an intelligent decision. And once again, because of the people that we have at the top of the company and understanding where the business is trying to go, they outsmarted some of the people who've never sold real estate
that's
before.
the bottom line, Jeff
And so
Hans.
really that's what it is. So we had to make a choice. We made a choice. Sounds like we made a great choice. And now we just take advantage of the choice we made.
And we see what happens, right? Look at the bottom line
Have
is
to.
this is where we're at today. We cannot figure out what's going to happen in the next year or 2 or 3 years or 5 years. That's for us to decide on what takes place in our industry. Therefore, we can make adjustments. Thank you, Jeff Hans. Okay, now let's see. Linda Spears, please. I would love for you to get your opinion a little bit. If you can unmute. And if you don't, then I can go to the next.
No,
There you
actually,
go.
I was on the call this morning too, and I echo everything that's already been said. This is,
Oh,
even though we've had some distrust in the past, this is a tremendous marketing opportunity. To obtain for those listing agents out there, it's one more thing in your tool belt to say this is what we can do. That pre-listing option, which is free, was the most beneficial off the top. If you're going out on a listing presentation, you want to utilize that. I would hope that we could get our marketing department to make us a pre-marketing piece that
That's
would go
absolutely
along
right.
with this entire concept.
You're on it, Linda.
Also, what I did take away from that is that if on the Zillow website, if you push contact the agent, yes, we know that goes direct to the agent. But if the client pushes want to do a tour, when that buyer is shown that property and closes that escrow, the listing agent will be rebated 10%.
10%. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Thank you, Linda. Appreciate it. Okay. Who's using Zillow preview or sorry, Zillow showcase now? I know it's Michelle Warner, so I'm going to bring her on first. Michelle, are you around?
I'm right here.
Let's go, Michelle Warner. What's your thoughts? Come on. I want to know the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Well, like the rest of you, we all did not care for Zillow, but at Elite last year, I finally just said, forget it. I got to give in. It's working. That's where people go, right? That it's just part of our industry. And I talked to a lot of top producers there, and I signed up for a package when you get the package. So I think it's like 650
Will you
a
break it down to?
showcase.
Okay.
But let me tell you, my online views have doubled. Your listings stay top of mind. You can go in and email your client their report so they could see how many people are looking at their home, how many people have shared it, where these buyers are looking from, what state, what part of California. You can send this to your client. It's just a great marketing tool. I'm fine spending the money. I truly believe if you spend money, you make money in the right areas. It has to be the right marketing. And now that this is $150, this is a no brainer. If all of you are not
I
making
know.
every listing, not just the higher end listings, make every single listing a showcase.
It's a
I
no-brainer in your mind.
It's a
No-brainer.
no-brainer. I have two photographers, one for kind of more everyday and one for much higher end property. They both do the Zillow showcase. They both upload it for me to Zillow. They upload my photos to the MLS. So, but this whole system, no commitment, buy one, buy 10, whatever. This price, you should be using this every time. I can email and show you what the email looks like that would be sent to your client. It's just such a great report. My clients are like, this is incredible. We can see exactly who's looking at it. Zillow will also email your listing for you. When people are looking in a certain area at a certain price point, Zillow will shoot them your email, and then it tells you how many emails were sent and how many were opened.
Wow. So let me ask you one last question. I appreciate all the information, Michelle, and I can tell your enthusiasm. How much is this going to save you probably on a yearly basis?
Oh, it's going to save you thousands of dollars in
Okay,
marketing.
there we go. So, and then not only is it going to save, and you think to yourself, okay, great. This is something that we're doing. You were going to do this with or without me, Michelle. I mean, obviously you were doing it, right?
Well, I've been doing it. So
See, there you go. All right.
you're
Love
just
it.
going to save me money, which is great. So,
Okay, thank you, Michelle. I love it. Thanks for your transparency as well. Jill Vodka, are you there? Because I think you also use Zillow Showcase as well. Are you there?
Yes, I am here.
All right, you use it?
Yes, and so Michelle I know has a package. I had called Michelle and asked her about it. She has a package. I unfortunately don't do as many listings as her. So I got one per month. So I get one per month, and then you can hold them whatever. Long story short, it's $740
There you
for
go.
each credit.
So I bet
So,
you're thrilled over the moon on the new
yeah.
price.
So so you do still have to pay to get the 3D tour with your photographer, but it's like $150, $200. It's like nothing. And I have gotten calls on my listing because when they call, everybody's searching on Zillow. I don't care. Like, they're searching on Zillow. And when they're searching on Zillow, instead of you hitting, contact the agent and it hits the people who are paying for Zillow leads, because it is your listing, it goes directly to you.
Love it. Thank you
And
so much.
and one last thing that I think that even if none of that happened, it is a good marketing tool when you go on a listing appointment and you can say, look, here's my listing and here's how it shows up on Zillow. And they're like, oh wow, because you're on the first page.
Boom. Michelle,
So-
you're trying to jump in? Go ahead.
Yeah, I see Libby just asked a question. Yes, if your property's been on the market for 2 weeks or a month, you can make it a showcase. It's better from the moment you activate it to be a showcase, but absolutely you can. And the other part is I have gotten buyers calling me directly from it. So this
Yeah.
is a
I showed my listing yesterday to a buyer who called me directly.
it
All right.
works.
Walt obviously is going to do some training on this soon, right? On, hey, this is the legalities. This is what you need to do. This is what needs to happen. I'm sure Lindsay's going to assist and the team is going to be around them. Thank you both, Michelle, Jill, and everybody that participated with their opinions. I cannot go on any longer. We've really beat this down pretty well. But I will tell you this. I want everyone to pay attention to their own thoughts and figure out what if they want to do it. And soon enough, we're going to bring everybody on and I'm going to ask you a simple question for you. Opt in, opt out. And the reason why I'm going to ask you that is because if you want to be part of the leads that are going to be generated out of this, I need to know. If you want no part of Zillow, no problem. I hate Zillow. Okay, well then you're not going to get a referral. No problem. It's up to you. You choose. You decide. Okay. I cannot do things for the whole brokerage based on a few opinions. I need the opinions of the masses. So therefore we can figure out these things together. So I'll leave that at that. And Lindsay, I'm so sorry I took up 70-80% of your time. Can you kind of jump in? Let's talk about some cahoots.
You
Just-
want to do the Kahoot still?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
should do
make
just
sure.
fly them right through them. Let's just
Go
finish
through
it
'em,
all.
yeah.
Let's make some money, and then I really want to jump back in if that's okay. We're gonna go a little bit over on this segment, just a little bit over. Just please, everybody, bear with us. We got a long agenda, but today was so important about the Zillow, and I needed to hear from your leaders. I needed to hear from your management. I needed to hear, from all of you and your questions or not. But more to come on that. I promise, more to come. This is just new, and if you're not going to see me in the office for a while, just listen. Just give me some grace here. I am trying to pay attention to what's going on with zero to no distractions. If you could do me a favor with zero to little distractions, contact my staff. I promise you we got it covered. But I need to pay attention to what's going on. Go ahead, Lindsay. Take it away.
Hey, great. So it looks like we have 12 participants. If you want to log in using the app, you just enter the game pin or you can scan the QR code to the left of the screen. And if we could get, there's 15, I think we should start. So last call, if you want to log in, we're going to start 3, 2, 1, let's go. In Remax Connections prospecting strategy, which element should be emphasized when nurturing a luxury client lead? Is it immediate property showings, customized market reports and data insights, personalized lifestyle branding and storytelling, or offering exclusive property previews? Get it in before 5 seconds. The answer was personalized lifestyle branding and storytelling. 5 people got that right. Oh, the requirement that an agent disclose his or her ownership interest in a property to a prospective buyer is found in, sorry, we didn't go to the scores. The residential purchase agreement, the seller property questionnaire, California Civil Code, or RESPA regulations. Where is the requirement for agent disclosure of ownership in property? Oof.
Whoa.
Walt.
We have to do a repeat class.
The answer was California Civil Code, which 2 people got right. And I changed the format of the quiz, so now it's not showing who got the answer, you know, the podium and all that. So sorry about that. When prospecting in a competitive market, what key differentiator does RE/MAX Connections offer that sets agents apart? A strong local presence, marketing and risk support, branding and global reach, local presence combined with flexible commission models, a recognizable brand with global reach and cloud-based options, or a global brand with online-only lead generation tools. 5 more seconds.
They better get this.
Pretty good.
All right.
All right.
The answer is a strong local presence, marketing and risk support, and branding and global reach. We have it all. Next question. What type of social media post gets the best engagement? Marketing question. Still posts, reels, carousels, or long videos? I think everyone has their answers. And that is correct. Reels. 2 more questions. What is the topic of the April 21st marketing class and why is it important to attend? It's about Agent Hub and its importance for office communications, branding and the agent visibility focus, social media techniques for content strategy focus, or First List, a key tool for off-market opportunities and buyer-client matching. Oh no. The answer is First List. It's going to be about First List, the tool we use for off-market opportunities and buyer-client matching. Now you know.
There we go.
An agent's duty of honesty and fairness is found in the RLA and BRVC, found in the agency disclosure, found in the RPA, or not dependent on the existence of an agency relationship.
You're going to offend Walt if you get this wrong.
Yeah. Oh no!
Oh no!
Is that right answers? Oh no.
The answer is it's not dependent on the existence of an agency relationship. That was kind of a trick question.
Okay, Lindsay, stop covering for them. They got it wrong. Just kidding. Go.
Let's see how we did. Uh-oh. Oh no! Okay, here. There we go. Third place, Nini. Congratulations, Nini. And in second, we have Senka, and first place goes to.
Uh-oh. Hey!
Is it Jessica Rarity or Jessica Sickelman? Do we know?
Hey, we're gonna write it out to Mike Safadine. If we don't know.
I don't think it's Jessica Rarity. I don't think my score was that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I love it. I'm like, hey, wait, that sounds like
That's
Jessica's
very
voice.
honest, Jessica.
That's why we love her. I mean, come on. Transparency, right?
Thank you guys for participating.
Thanks, Lindsay. I appreciate you. Look, obviously more to cover. Again, you know how cognizant I am of your time, and I appreciate it more than you know. Again, please register. I think Kay had a question about can we register for the event? I think Libby answered it. Thank you very much, Libby, on that one, saying that get my email out or put yours in. You got to have it RE/MAX at, I think it's at .net. So they want to make sure you're a RE/MAX agent, right? So you got to make sure your email address is from RE/MAX. I'm going to get into the top 10. And obviously it's something I want everybody to unmute and whatnot. Do me a favor, instead of going through, yeah, all right, go ahead and put it on the chat. I'm really liking this chat feature for this meeting today. You guys did it very well of putting some of your questions, your comments, those that have been muted. Look, we're going to be a lot more interactive. I'm going to ask you questions and I'm going to ask you to either do this or that, or what do you think about that? just type it in, just put it in your thing. Therefore, I can have a record of it and I can actually go back and see who put who. Like I know Sharon's pretty mad about the whole Zillow thing. Hopefully she changed her mind when she heard from the leaders and the management and everybody else. Again, it's okay. You're entitled to your opinion. You're not going to we're not going to think as a group and say, well, we all agree. It's impossible. We have different personalities. I have my D's, which are my dominant people. The dominant agents are going to be like, well, let's just do it. Let's move on. The influencers are like, well, what's going on? I might want to make sure, it's tailored right. My S's, which is my steadies, are kind of like, all right, well, we'll just pay attention to it and we'll just kind of go slow with it and figure out the deal. And the conscious are kind of really paying attention. So anyway, that's that. Top 10, right? Top 15, top 10, top 10. Here we go. I want everybody to unmute and I want to hear your voices for a quick second, okay? You don't have to go nuts, but Megan, if you put something on the chat, let's keep it going. I don't know. Do we want to mute or unmute? Go ahead. Let me hear your answer on that. I really want to hear your answer. Do you want it unmuted, then just put it on the chat, or maybe we just leave it both hybrid and we'll see what goes from there and I'll record it. All right. Later, I'll find out. So put it on there if you want to do.
How do I add this to my calendar?
What's that, Tracy? I can hear your voice.
Oh, sorry.
All right. That's okay. So we'll do the own voice. That's great. All right. Top 10, San Diego. I want everybody to pay attention. Let's go.
Ooh, Jamie.
Mello, top
Jamie.
10. Let's go.
Good job, Jamie.
Number 9, Virginia Gissing.
Virginia.
All right, Virginia.
Number 8, K-Merg.
Go
Way to
Kay.
go.
Okay.
Let's see.
Nasty, number
Sissy.
7.
Go,
Sissy.
Sissy.
Number 6, Jeannie.
Number
Jeannie, great job.
Top 5, David
David.
Kroll.
All right,
Go,
David.
David.
Congratulations.
4, Jessica Rarity.
All right, Jessica.
Number 3, Spencer
Spencer.
Soto.
Ooh, good job,
Spencer.
Spencer.
Jill.
Monica.
Go,
Jill.
Number 1, Michelle Warner.
Michelle, great job.
All right, that's what's going to look on top. As your social media, share it. If you want something special, let us know. We'll put it on there. San Diego, top 10, year to date, 2026. Here we go. Number 10, David Kroll.
All right, David.
Let's go. Number 9, Jamie Mello.
Jamie.
All right,
Right,
Jamie.
Jamie.
Let's go. Number
Hey,
8,
I'm still there.
Wow, good
Number
job.
7, Brian Reffis, who's in Maui right now, I think.
Brian.
Good job,
Number
Brian.
6, Rick McCandless.
Go, Rick.
Right,
Top
Rick.
5, Spencer Soto.
Good job,
Spencer.
Jessica Rarity.
Yeah,
Number
All
2.
right,
Good job, Jessica.
Number 3, Jill Vodka. I see you.
All right, Jill.
Jill.
Number 2, K Merg. Let's go.
Okay.
Okay. So number 1, we have Michelle
Michelle.
Warner.
Michelle.
Good job.
Congratulations,
Top 10, San
everybody.
Diego.
Nice
Here we
work.
go. You ready to cheer for our Irvine partners over here?
Go, Irvine.
Go,
Irvine, let me
Irvine.
hear you, Irvine. Where you at, Irvine? You there?
Woo!
There we go. Got one person in there.
Okay.
Number 10, Seika, please. Let's go.
All right, Seika.
Number 9, Max Jazicki.
Yeah, Matt.
Max.
8, Kenny Young.
Good job,
Kenny.
Kenny.
Number 7, whoa, AJ, we got to take his profile.
AJ.
Go, AJ.
Number 6, we have Lucy DeProfio.
All right,
Lucy.
Come on, Lucy.
Phenomenal. Number 5, we have Nicholas Montezami.
Good job,
Let's
Nico.
go. Sun shows up. Let's do it. Number 4, we have Vince.
Vince.
Good
Vince.
job.
Man, the myth, the legend over there. Number 3, we have Ming.
Good job, Bing.
Number 2, we have Lena Chu.
All right, Lena.
And our number 1 is Mary.
All right,
Mary.
Mary.
Oh.
Good job, everybody.
That's what it's going to look for March. And we're going to go to our top 10 for Irvine with Emma Chu, number 10. Let's go, Emma.
Good job, Emma.
Lena Chu.
All right,
Lena.
Lena.
Number 8, Senka, please.
All
Let's
right,
go.
Senka.
Senka.
Number 7, Hannah Song. That'll be
Go,
good.
Hannah.
Work. Number 6, Ming Chin.
All right, Ming.
Good
Ming.
job.
Number 5, Cameron
All right,
Montezami.
All right,
Cameron.
Cameron.
Let's go, Cameron.
Number 4, Lucy DeProfio. Let's
Yeah,
go.
Lucy.
All right, Lucy.
Vince
Good job,
DeProfio.
Vince.
All right, Vince.
Good job, Vince.
Number 2, Mary Jeffery.
Let's
All
go,
right,
Mary.
Mary.
Come, Mary.
Yes, who we're gonna guess for number 1 over there? It's Max and Cindy. Let's go. Yeah, let's go, Max and Cindy.
Good
And
job.
Matt.
Good job, Matt.
Phenomenal, phenomenal,
Congratulations.
phenomenal. Look, I appreciate everybody's time. As you know, I can't wait to see you later on. There's a lot.
See you tonight.
He's
Let's
ready to
go.
party.
We're gonna celebrate our wins, and can I tell you what I'm most proud of out of everything? I don't care what award you're gonna get. Listen to me. I take everybody on an individual basis. Okay, I'm not fair to compare you with somebody else that has limited time or whatever circumstances, health issues. You know it, right? I'm an agent. I've been through my ups and downs. I know as a single father, it wasn't fair to compare my production with somebody else's because I had to do everything and raise a son at the own. So here's what I'm going to say. What I'm most proud of today, when you get your award today, when I'm most proud of, first of all, the people showing up that are not getting an award, number one. Number two, the people that are actually bringing somebody and saying, look, I want you part of this company, like no different than when I bring my significant other and everybody else that goes along to it. Number two. Number three, here's what I'm most proud of, is you cheering for your colleagues, you celebrating their wins and understanding as an inspiration to say, you know what? I can do it too. That is the whole point of me spending a lot of money. You understand that? So I'm not going to concentrate on who's not there. I'm going to concentrate on who is there. I love you. Can't wait to see you. See you tonight. Love you.
Yay. See
Thank
everybody
you.
tonight. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.